Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 21, Week 3. Today we're taking a look at the Reverse the Flow team, for how long that lasts, taking on the Power team. With me here today is nobody. Let's just get this thing a-rolling.
10 seconds remaining.
I said this while I was waiting before the stream, but one thing that does bother me a little bit about this is one team, you have Blue Jay and Sammy as replacements for two of their players, who are about the same MMR as their replacement players. The Power team has a replacement for their highest MMR player with a guy who's like half a badge down. So it's a little scary to be them today. I don't know if he even plays this role. I know of this guy, I don't know much about him. Besides the fact he's like mid-Archon or something.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Banning out the Razor. I feel like, at the very least in LD2L, I think you can totally let that Razor in the first round at least. Like, I think, at a pro level, even at a pro level, it's not like, you know, I've seen the stats, like 40% win rate right now or something like that. Even at a pro level, it's kind of struggling when you don't have a good reason to pick it. But I think at the LD2L level, Razor, when you don't have a specific reason to pick it, in this patch, isn't working. There's some times where it's going to work, like there's some times where you just pick the raw Razor. I don't really think this time is one of them. I think you have to have, like, a Poslim matchup already to really make it work, and if you don't, like, a bad matchup for him is going to make the match really bad for him. Because, like, if you take away the leash being an important factor in the game, you'll lose a lot. Pretty stock support picks here so far. Shadow Shaman, Witch Doctor. They're definitely not rewriting the book or anything here, but nothing wrong with either of these picks. I remember, for so long, there was this awkward, sad situation for Witch Doctor, where it's like, you couldn't really pick him first, but he had the impact of a hero that you should pick first, which was really sad, because you could absolutely, back in the day, you could just completely get rid of all the upside of this guy. Not so much anymore. A lot harder now. AA coming out.
10 seconds remaining.
Not a hero we've seen a lot of this season. I believe that might in fact be the first time that we've seen AA here. It's interesting. I don't think it's really in the standard Cobblers roster, so they might be doing something funny, or who knows. Viper and Pudge coming up next. Interesting combination of heroes. You can be basically guaranteed that Pudge's support if Viper's on the field.
5 seconds remaining.
Problem is, it's kind of anti-chemistry in that pick. It's like the most you're gonna get with that, with the Viper, is he just puts like a W where the dismember is happening. It doesn't really benefit that much from Pudge creating 1v1s, at least not disproportionately. Just funny, because, you know, Viper, his main shtick is you hit Q on people, you hit R on people, so you'd think it would be an awesome combo, but the thing is, it's like, it's kind of redundant upside, because Pudge just enables most heroes to be that good at 1v1ing, if that makes sense. Like, Pudge gets a hook and starts dismembering somebody, and now Ember Spirit can do the same thing to that one guy that, like, Viper can, except Ember Spirit does a hell of a lot more. Lina Brewmaster coming up. Clinks is an interesting pick here. It's going to really, really hit that Lina, hit that AA pretty hard. Lina kind of an interesting pick in general on the Radiant right now. I believe the Pudge was already on the board. Yeah, it was already on the board when they picked up the Lina. And Clinks was available. They also had a lot of other guys with a lot of scary alpha damage that Lina is not great at dealing with. Still in the rotation for the Dire, so it's a very ballsy pick, I gotta say. You really don't care much about
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
You don't care much for the Dire's draft picking something like that. Like, you do not care about their game if you're picking like that.
Remaining.
If you get a 5-star Pudge or Clanks on these heroes, and they're gonna smash you up for making a pick like that. Brewmaster's an interesting response to their lineup, though, and I don't think they really have a particularly good answer for it. I suspect that might be Copeless on the
10
Brewmaster.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
It's one of those situations where the Viper can live it, and if he's not ulted, then the Viper Strike can be pretty nasty, actually. Though you're probably saving that for Lena in most situations,
Radiant
unless
team.
she's like getting picked and annihilated. Okay, what? This is a crazy comp.
5 seconds.
I don't know what to
remaining.
make of this at all. Damn, he wasn't kidding about the 2 eyes smile
You may
emote.
now select
It
your
was
heroes.
foreshadowing. Both these teams are a little... Oh, Copeless was a Brewmaster, how about that? Both these teams are a little strange. I'm not gonna deliberate too much on the results because, as I said earlier, I know the results, so it'd be weird to pretend I didn't. But there's something just off about both sides here. I think one thing I immediately have to note over everything else is we're still in the same place we were last week with the power pick, where once again, like, Clinks is not really like a super late game. You know, there's a lot better scaling heroes out there in this world than Clinks. He's not this late game character that I feel like is
Prepare for
A,
battle.
good with this patch, B, good with Power's playstyle, what he does. The Clinks is not really it. Then beyond that, I guess that's really both the points I was trying to make, is that it's, you know, not really great for the
30
patch, and
seconds
it's
to
not really
battle.
great for him. Like, I feel like, again, you know, if you're Power and you're playing in this patch, I think the heroes that you want to pick up look a little bit more like,
battle
I don't know, the
begins.
Spectre brand of hero, anti-mage. Like, this will be... Goodbye, Sammy. Or that's Big Dog Sammy. I think he's all over the MMR for the person he's replacing. Up, Chicago Bear says GG. It's over. Anyway. Huh? Oh no, he didn't really DC after that. Had to restart PC. Okay, there we go. There is an on-pause here. I was a little worried. Gwar. You know, the guys in Gwar, it's not the same band they used to be anymore. It's completely different dudes. Anyway, that being said, it's time for Viper to get hit by a couple of casks. It's time for the roll call for the Radiant. Pause 1, you've got Sammy, I believe that's Big Dog Sammy, on the Lena. Pause 2, you've got Blue Jay on the Puck. Pause 3, you've got Copeless on the Brewmaster. Pause 4, Tall Balls on the AA. Pause 5, Reverse the Flow on the Pudge. On the other side of the coin, for the Dire, pause 1, count on the team, you've got Power on the Clinks. Pause 2, you've got Will standing in for DJ on the Sand King. Pause 3, go Chicago Bears on the Viper. Pause 4, loading, on the Pudge. And pause 5, you've got Toasty, who likes pigs, on the Shadow Shaman. Yeah, I feel like, both of these teams have had some issues with drafting before, but I think, goodbye Tall Balls, very casual kill power just got there. I feel like maybe the stand-ins have kind of exacerbated the problem on both sides. I feel like neither of them exactly knows what they want to have here. Just two kind of hacker guys. A Radiant, you have these 2 heroes on the Radiant, I guess 3 heroes, that are these big, like team fight guys, but then you have Lena who just likes kind of a series of 1v1s. You have oh, hook and a mess. Quite close though. You have a lot of setup for fights, but you don't have that great of like prosecution for them outside of just drop Death Ward and hope it goes awesome. Just kind of a lot of chickens with their heads cut off, a lot of hoping the enemy team kind of blunders into things. On the other hand, it's like you've got the Clinks, who is kind of back to being the 1v1 guy, with the Pudge, who enables people who aren't 1v1 guys to be 1v1 guys. Viper is another one. But then you have the Sand King, who gives you team fight factor, but it's like 5 seconds of fun. So I guess the play is like, I don't know, Pudge hooks one person and then Sand King ults on the response? Is how you would do fights, but like, that's just... It's like, A, you're basically relying completely on these two heroes to do your fights. If you don't have that, you really don't have a fight. Like, if you don't have hook into ult, then your best thing is like, Sand King just drops the thunder on somebody. You always have to be, A, know where all the enemies are. B, always have to have the initiative doing that. Or, I mean, there is no or, actually. Like, the Sand King just has to drop the boom. You always have to know where they are, what they're doing. Just go in on that and hope you basically just hope you get enough people in the Sand King ult to like prosecute a fight. Aside of that, you could do picks. This is a very good picking team. Like, arguably too good of a picking team. Again, I don't know. The Pudge pick, very contradictory to what they kind of lined up with the rest of it. Even the Viper and the Clinks are pretty redundant. You know, just two heroes that do basically the same thing to basically the same heroes. Viper does have the funny bath, which is probably going to help him this game, but is not going to help with the whole redundancy factor here. At the very least, Viper breaking armor with a shard enables Clinks to do a lot of damage through that, but outside of that, those two heroes don't really combo with each other at all. They just do the same things, the same people, the same place in a fight. So he's Shaman, who really doesn't have anything to do in that world in this kind of awkward position. Arcane Boots on the Sand King, no surprises there. Sand King doing pretty good here mid, having a pretty good show of things, but he's basically the only one on the dire who feels that way. The two other guys are nowhere as well. Clinks has a decent last hit record compared to the Lena, but is below on both, running behind on both last hits and denies compared to the Brewmaster. The Viper is doing really bad. He just feels like gone this lane, which I guess is in part going to happen when A, you have a melee, like the only melee in the entire lane is your lane partner. B, it's somebody who is pretty passive, mostly going to be sitting back. I do think that Viper might be playing this lane a little too scared, though. Like, if you're playing this defensively, if you're playing this far back, I think what you really want to do is, rather than going all in on Nether Toxin and basically trying to just scuttle the lane, which is what you're really doing in a matchup like this. You're not going to win any fights in the ass in a lane that looks like this. Not into the Maledict. You know, that's still a decent amount of magic resistance, but again, just remember, the corrosive skin is going to change. Like, it's not going to change that much until it's higher level than this. So you're still not really going to be winning any fights in the big pool of 7-up. And it's kind of hard to just drop on the creeps when you got a Lena, because she's pretty, you know, she has a pretty quick auto attack that does a decent amount of damage. She's going to be pretty good at getting the denies. So I think what you would prefer to do in a matchup that looks like this is go in on the... Wow, a lot of rotations up here to top for nothing happening. What you would prefer to do, I think, is just go all in on the E.
Dire's
Go all in
bottom
on
tower
E
is under
and
attack.
try to fight a little bit more. Play it more like the old-fashioned Viper. I think you get a bit more done in this lane. It's still probably a tough one. I just don't like Viper and Alina that much anyway. Especially, you know, level 6 is going to get pretty hard if you don't, like, well beat her to it, but... You know, again, you know, it does seem... You know, on the surface, it does seem like, oh, you know, this is a tough lane, it's going to be hard to win. You know, just go all in on W, scuttle it. But on the other hand, it's like, you know, look how that's going for you, right? It's just not a great way to, it's just not a great skill to do that with. It's no, like, Pit Lord Q. Doesn't do quite that much damage, it's not quite that as efficient on a hero with a smaller mana pool who's going to be, find it less desirable to pick up, Okay, going on Lena here. Cast from the Witch Doctor. The Viper gave up on that really early. They're still going to get the kill. They're going to get a response from the Puck. Puck is only going to be able to get the Pudge, not going to be able to do anything else. Good situation for the Viper there. I think almost gave up a little early on that, but I think realized at the last second you got to prosecute it. Turned around at the right time. Lynx is starting to come back here in the top lane. Even though they didn't get the kill on the Brewmaster, I think routing him and just giving him, giving the Clinks a couple of minutes to just hit some creeps has been doing good for him. Sand King still leading the puck at mid. Not by a huge amount, but by enough. Pudge, oh. Pudge swinging a miss. Unfortunate. I don't think they get the kill for that anyway. It's interesting that when they see Pudge at top, the bot lane isn't just immediately charging the Viper. He is definitely one of the more vulnerable heroes when something like that
Dire's
happens.
middle tower is under attack.
Though Sand King is leading the lane, he is starting to signal he's done with it. He is starting to just kind of go after creep camps and start letting the Puck have her way here. He is still leading on XP.
Dire's top tower is
Ooh,
under
let's see
attack.
this happen. Pudge gets the hook, but boy, he did not want what he found. The Brewmaster just immediately hits Iron Plasm. Good instincts on that hook. If he was level 6 or the team was ready for it, that would have been a guaranteed kill, but neither of those things were true and thus did not come to pass. Walks away with a very small amount of health. Tall Balls is going to drop the urn on him to get him back up to shape. Viper rushing the hell out of the Ags here. He's basically just going raw Ags. Even on this build, you would probably like to invest in, if nothing else, like, you know, some of these, like Bracer, Wraithband, Null Talisman. Legitimately, all three of them have a case for Viper. I think I would definitely consider picking one of those up on this. If you're doing awesome in lane, you could always consider the old Falcon Blade. I'd only really do that if I was quite ahead. Viper isn't quite ahead, to be frank. He's got a kill, and that kill's pretty good. But also, he's like nearly just at like half the last at Selena. Speaking of this bot lane, look at me in smoke down here. Looking to get revenge for that kill earlier. Viper does not sniff it out and is going to walk into a puck ult. Pudge, defensive hook, very good. Viper needs to hit his wand early. He cannot leave him late. He's maledicted. Oh, well, he just walks into them and dies. He kind of just walked the exact way I think they were looking for him. I think, especially considering Pudge was leaving the same way, I think it probably would have been better to just kind of hang out here. But hit that wand. Got a maledict. Remember how that works. It's literally just difference between your HP. Shadow Shaman just gets 100 to 0'd by the combination of the Pudge and the AA, or Pudge and the AA, the Brewmaster of the AA here. What's this trade?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, he didn't get that earn charge from the AI as Stolen Valor. He actually used it himself. Nice. Let's take a look at the net worth chart here. Basically tells the same story as the last hits do. Clink started behind, but he is catching up now. He is second place. Sand King well ahead of the puck. Puck is actually kind of surprisingly poor. I guess getting some... He's been rotating out of lane, but the kills he's been getting have not been the highest value kills. Like, he's gotten the kill on, like, the Viper, who's, you know, the only core who's as far behind as him. Viper doing pretty bad, all things considered. He has got herself a Maelstrom already. Good hook by Pudge. This is right into the goop. She just dies instantly, and that's what we like to see. A ult coming out for him, a ult swing and a miss. Pro tip for AA players, if somebody is low and you think the Lotus might be there, just throw right at the pool. Decent chance, especially if it's relatively close to the time rollover the guy's going to be there. King's coming out here, has himself some raindrops. I think this is a very strong raindrops game for the Dire in general. Lots of magic burst from the Radiant. I think that helps quite a bit with. At the moment, I believe it's going to be exclusive Doom, yep. Link's near to Odesso.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's not going to help things, though. Let's check out this happening. Wow, he kind of got 100 to 0 here. Well, let's see what happens. I'm guessing he just gets, yeah, just leashed and then zap. Goodbye, Clanks. Shaman comes in for the retaliation, dies before he can do anything. We have people on the Dire are like coming in, but they're just coming in really piecemeal. They almost get the Brewmaster. Brewmaster hits the ult before it goes off. Pudge hooks the A under tower, gets that at the very least in the back of the fight. Lina barely surviving in this encounter with a Viper. Helpless is marking Pudge for death here. Good silence, good follow-up stun by the Lina. Pudge is going to go down, but it might come at the cost of the Brewmaster. Two people very low here. Puck TP's out right in front of the Shaman. Good skirmish by the Radiant, bad communications by the Dire, who end up losing everybody in that series of events at some point. A 2 grand gold swing puts Radiant firmly in the lead for the first time in the game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Just an awkward fight overall. The Dire just, like, you know, that was just kind of pub gameplay. Like, I feel like nobody knew Clinks was in danger until he was already 90% dead, which is fair in that case because he really did kind of just get 100 to 0. He just got zapped out of existence. And then everybody just kind of came in and responded so slowly. They just conga lined in. You know, the Shaman comes in right as Clinks dies. Then the Sand King shows up. Then the Viper shows up. Then the Pudge... I mean, he's just doing Pudge stuff. He just throws the hook, gets AA. It's the only upside of the whole fight, which is kind of funny considering the events that have happened since. Viper and Sand King teaming up on Lina here. Lina is going to get the Sand King, at least in combination with her friends. She's not going to live it. Interesting hook there. I think probably was trying to get one of the people chasing the Viper rather than the Viper. Going to be a 3 for 0. Feels like the rails are falling off this team really quick. The rails are falling off. The wheels are falling off this team really quick.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And again, this is a sad situation where Clinks is having a pretty good game up here. He's got his Deso out. He is at the top of the net worth charts by about 1,000 gold, no less. But the problem is he's Clanks. Like, he's not gonna win the long game. This is a part of the game where you should be awesome. Like, you know, what you do with the Clinks is you just do a lot of death balling. It's really the ideal. Well, not necessarily death balling, but what you really want to do is just walk around, blow people up the best you can. If that's with your team, if that's alone, either way, that's what you want to be doing. He's doing a great job not doing that. He's doing a great job as a P1 that's not like Clinks. Viper Eggs nearly out. Lena going for something that involves a Blade of Alacrity herself. Cannot tell at the moment. Oh. Kill on Sanking, how does this happen? How does AA get this? He just walks in a puck and from downtown! Is it the shoes?
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
Mid T1 gets denied as Radiant sieges out Dire's top T1. Clinks is going to have dust dropped on his head. Clinks is really likely to be dead. That Spear Vessel would have been awesome like a half second before. It's not really going to matter. Lena is going to drop the hammer on the Clinks. The Storm Brewmaster is going to put Viper into Tornado, stop any real follow-up from coming out. Good combination of the teamwork by the Lena and the Brewmaster there. Just immediately dropped that stun the moment it felt like the Brewmaster was in there. It was probably saving it for that occasion. Another 3-0 trade. They don't have the Brew ult here, so it's a little risky to be running this. Ooh, they almost Night Pudge. Going out of the Twin Gate here. Oh, but Witch Doctor's on the other side of this, which is kind of funny. This is a really low value target to waste the ult on, but they do get him. So 4-0. Oh no, 4-1 actually. They do get the AA over here at some point. But
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
it's starting to feel really bad. Even though the gold lead isn't much, it really feels like the way the game state is, it's really favoring the Radiant.
Is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Just they've got this like
Dire's bottom tower is under
sort
attack.
of issue here where they have this Clinks who's got this fighting build. It's the same thing. This seems to be pretty common this season for whatever reason. They've got Clinks out here with this fighting build. He's just sitting here farming Ancients. Like, you know, that's his play style. It's where he makes his money. So I get why he's doing it, but it's not really going to be great sitting there with an empty Desolator here at like, you know, 30 minutes, just hitting these creeps, trying to extend your lead, because Lena is making, definitely, yeah, I was going to say, making more gold per minute than you walking around taking objectives and killing people. If you had a farming item, then things might be different. She's not doing it at that crazy of a rate. But you don't have a farming item, and you shouldn't really, because you're Clinks, so. Viper Ags is out. I'm going to predict this is probably not going to be too impactful this game, except for the Lena. Lena's going to hate this until the BKB comes out. Everybody else is not going to care at all. Getting rid of the Lena, though, that is a pretty good thing. Former offlane getting caught here by the Brewmaster, by the puck. They don't even try to fight this, which is a little depressing. It feels like the Dire have been kind of morale busted again. Seems to be a common issue with this team. Like, they thought they had no chance to win that, but I think at the very least, if they had dropped the Viper R on the Brewmaster, like at least they forced a decent spell out of him to get the kill. They don't even do that. They just kind of let him walk all over them and get away with it. Sand King uses creeps to take out the mid T1, second tower for his team. Has himself Blinking Yules is going for a pipe? What? Okay. Imagine this guy does not play mid Sand King that often. It's a good pipe game. Give him that. I think I would have rather seen this on the Fat Man or something. He is pretty poor, so it would be a while before you get it out, but I think this game you would really rather focus on things that help you get more damage out. Because you're really a lot of the team fight. You're really going to be a lot of what makes this team work. So being either literally just dealing more damage, which, I mean, I guess there aren't really that many Sand King items that help you out much there, like SNK or something, I guess. Or items that are going to let you last longer in the fight, which Pipe kind of is, but as weird of a thing as it is to say, it may be a little bit too selfless. Like, I think you would definitely, in this position, prefer, like, Eternal Shroud, even if it's, you know, kind of beans this patch. I think you would kind of prefer that to the Pipe. I wish you could still just look at Pipe to see the stats. Just the increased magic resistance that you get, plus the much larger amount of health. Strength. Clinks is going to be caught up here by everybody and just die. At least he's going to get a kill before he goes down. It's kind of the issue. When Clinks isn't running around killing people, when he's playing passively like this, he's one of the easiest P1s to gank because he's so squishy and he really is just kind of... Like, all you really need to deal with him is just detection. If you've got detection on him, he just kind of dies. Clinks needs to be on the offense. He needs to be in the driver's seat. If you're running at Clinks, he is much sadder than if he gets to run at you. Drop some Desperation Snakes to retrieve from the Radiant here. And while the Shaman does get out, it does come at the cost of the Radiant getting all the snakes, which isn't that big of a deal. It's not as big of a deal as dying would have been, but it is not ideal. Yeah, we're getting an Eternal Shroud on Viper, and we're getting a pipe on the Sand King here, which would make more sense if the Viper was mid and the Sand King was P3. But the Viper is not only mid, the Viper is broke. I mean, this guy is well, I mean, just to be blunt, this guy is pretty bad as a hero. Hello, Alara. Guy pretty bad as a hero at just like hitting creeps, even with all that's changed, even with the buff to the Nether Toxin, even with the Ags. He's still relatively slow at just hitting those creeps, mostly because to make hitting creeps worthwhile, you have to sacrifice a lot of your mobility. So like either you can get a Hurricane Pike and kind of get around the map vaguely, or you can get Ags early and obliterate a single creep camp once a year. And then slowly trudge your way to the next one. I mean, look at this guy. This guy is not quick. Budge kind of gets caught here and gets annihilated while I'm saying that. Sand King gets caught by the Lina, gets very quickly up, annihilated. He has, he was able to get a little farther. I'm not sure exactly what healed him. I'm guessing Lotus, given the lack of something in his inventory, but still very casual kill on the Sand King. We have Clinks looking for something to get done here, not finding anything. He's building up an Orchid. How's the replay going? I think you can see it. It's not well for the Dire, I can tell you that. Chat's pretty dead, which is really unfortunate. I even specifically picked this early so Copeless could show up and see it, but you know how it goes. I think there's an in-house happening right now, and I think it kind of screwed me over. 2 people dying from the Death Ward. Appropriate, I suppose. Much better Death Ward than the last one we physically saw. Gets rid of the Clinks, gets rid of the Shadow Shaman. Again, it really feels bad. Like, Clinks has a lot of money, and like, usually when I talk about, like, the money pinata, I'm talking about a support. Like, some support gets, like, a big kill streak by just total accident or something, or you get, like, Ogre with a Midas. And they end up with a whole bunch of money, and they end up just kind of being an unfortunate way to transfer net worth from one team to the opposing team. But this is a case where it's kind of Clinks. Like, all Clinks can really do with all this money is just spend the whole game sweating, worrying about dropping it to the other guys. Because just and a big part of that is the way he's playing. A big part of that is the game state. I don't know how much he could help it otherwise, but like, you know, at the very least, like if you're gonna pick like this, you gotta play like this. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're playing like this, you're like a gyrocopter, you're like an anti-mage. You're fine. You're fine with this happening to you. But they found Brew here. Completely annihilated him. I don't know what that hook was about, but it's a pretty big kill. It's going to shift some momentum away from the Radiant. He is still their lowest net worth core. But, you know, that's a long kill drought that just went out there. Pipe finished on the Sand King. Going for the BKB next, I think I would have also preferred that over the pipe, to be honest with you. Again, would have just rather seen that on the Pudge, I think. Poor Tall Balls melted to the Tormentor, did not even get the Shadow. He was not actually eligible for it. Versaflow sticks around a little bit, gets caught by the Sand King on the way out. Gets something for their troubles. Lena is 10 steps ahead of the Clinks. Even though the net worth differential between them isn't too much right now, she's already kind of built to kill him. Like, she has that, she has the Lincolns before he has the Orchid, which is a bad situation for him. It's actually a insanely baller Lincoln's game for this Radiant team. Sand King, unfortunately for him, hits that Q right when he gets leashed by the puck. Just gets annihilated in moments. Say goodbye to that momentum. Bring that one back around. Am I watching two guys with full health walking to spawn? What's going on?
A prize.
Nice 30 stream watch streak. Somebody is blowing my ass up. There's actually several people who are blowing my ass up. There are a bunch of people who went AFK at the exact same time and came back in the middle of the stream.
Dire are scanning.
Clinks. Getting the Orchid soon. Has Daedalus. After that, I didn't actually notice he had a Crystallis, which is, again, it's just the same thing. Like, that doesn't really help him farm any faster. We have a GPM chart here? Yeah, we do. You can see he's falling down these GPM charts. Barely doing better than the Sand King at this point. He is well behind where the Puck and the Lean are at, so we can kind of assume he's not going to. It looks pretty one-sided. Yeah, we can kind of assume he's not going to bypass him. And again, it's just kind of the natural state of affairs. Like, Clinks has a bunch of fighting items and isn't fighting. Lena has a bunch of farming items and has also been fighting and winning. Like, Hurricane Pike, Maelstrom. Yeah, I mean, well, she doesn't have a lot of farming items. She really has one farming item, but that's enough for her to just completely outpace the Clinks. I mean, she's already better at farming really at a base than Clinks is anyway. He can catch up with the Shard, but he's only equal with the Shard, really. Radiant's gonna do Roche here. 11k net worth advantage, by the way. Not as big as you would think. I think in other patches this will be like 20k at this point, basically. But we live in the age of the very slow GPM. So I just kind of sussed this. So I'm gonna throw in the hook here. I think he's. Oh, he waited just a little too long. If he had just thrown the hook in there, I think he would have actually gotten somebody, and I don't think he would have lived. I think this would have still happened to him. 11 levels up right now, allegedly.
Radiant's
Differential is not actually too much. About 2 levels between pause 1, pause 2. 3 levels between pause 3s. About 4 levels cumulatively between the supports. So again, even on XP, it's just, you know, like I said, it's just too hard to get a lead this match. It's kind of crazy. Got the Sand King here, but they kind of brought the wrong people to get him. He's going to be able to get out just fine right at the last second here. So. Bot 3-toe, ah. You know what I'm saying? Viper still is buying this BKB. I think last time I looked at Viper's inventory, it was legitimately like 18, 19 minutes, and he still had this exact same one. The purpose of the eggs is in part to hit creep camps. Really not helping at this point. Clinks has diarrhea right in front of the enemy team and dies instantly. That's kind of sad. That was a really unnecessary death ward, but that's like, and an even more unnecessary AA ult, but it's really small change
top tower is under attack.
comparatively.
Invisibility.
Buck gets an Ags.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dire's top
tower has
T2
fallen.
just completely gets obliterated. I don't even fight for it. Yeah, 2 guys are already prepping behind the, Alright, dude, does Io get any play in LD2? Actually, yes, this guy, when he's a support, Copless, plays it a lot. In fact, it's his avatar on a lot of sites. Good hook by Pudge gets Lina behind the lines, but nobody was actually ready for that to happen, so Lina just scurries away.
Dire's
She,
top tower
was
is
not
under
able to be
attack.
ulted courtesy of the Lincolns. AC on the brew. Pudge looking for somebody else, finds the puck. Brewmaster closes them before they can do anything about it. Yeah, the Brewmaster's just gonna kill everybody now. Yep. Clinks, the Shaman, the Pudge. He's gonna tank for a little bit, but that's it. They're likely, yeah, they are going to get the AA who just got ward trapped by the Shaman. Good ward trap, by the way. Yeah, the Viper pretty much meaningless at this point. They have vision on the Sand King,
Dire's top
and they're just gonna get rid of him. I think we're going home here.
Dire's top barracks are under attack. Dire's
think,
top barracks has fallen.
I think we're all said and done at this point.
Dire's top barracks has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
Yeah, they're just going, I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't go T4 after the first set of racks, to be honest with you.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
A is back. He's the only person they dropped on the fight uphill. They did not lose the Aegis for the record.
Dire's middle
Aelt's
tower
going to go
has
in. It's going to hit the supports and
Dire's
the
middle
Viper.
tower is under attack.
Shaman is going to cast back at the very least. Voodoo Switcheroo is going to be just shy of actually hitting everybody. If that had been a little closer, if that had been a regular ult, would have been very bad news for these guys. Puck is low, so they're going to call a retreat, seemingly. Oh no, Lina is still just like, let's just finish this. Helpless is like,
Dire's middle tower.
Helpless is the guy from Scotland. I think he likes the Rangers or something. Yeah, this is the anti-chemistry I was talking about at the top of the draft. Like, Sand King goes in, he gets his big ult, Pudge throws a hook at the same time, gets somebody, and he just pulls him out of the Sand King ult, and they survive. He is going to eventually get the person he is going after. It's going to come at the cost of his own life. At this point, that's probably okay, reasonably. It's better than what you could have reasonably expected. Shadow Shaman's next to fall. Again, they're really looking at the AA here, because AA is all they can get.
is under attack.
Desperation buyback from Pudge. He's gonna throw the hook. Gets Lena. Actually nearly kills her. Plinks ignores Lena to try and get tall balls for some weird reason. And then we're going home. Again, like I said, I got spoiled on the series. No great surprise for me here. Well, got no great surprise for me here, and I can tell the world exactly why this happened. It's just I feel like I'm spinning my wheels on this power team. I feel like I'm saying the same thing every week. This power team just has these drafting issues, and it really goes back to their proactive draft. I think the proactive draft is really where the problem is in a lot of ways, because it's like they just they just seem to be unable to pick their own upsides, if that makes sense. Like, again, Power is this very good, late game core player, but he's sitting here playing Dragon Knight and Clinks. And if you want to tell me, okay, like, if you want to take the devil's advocate position, you want to tell me, Anani, Clinks Bale's way better than you're giving him credit for. He's a real late game kind of guy. Okay. But also, this game, he built to fight and then just hit creeps all day, right? Like, even if you're going to go late game, that's not how you're going to get there. He's building the Clinks like it is an early game hero, and I agree with that. He's building the Clinks like it is this early game hero where you want to kind of roam around and get kills, and he's not really roaming around, nor is he getting kills. So even if you want to say he's a great scaling hero, he's not building these farming items. He's not building these items that are going to get him there. He's building like he wants to win in 30 minutes, and he didn't. He was like 20k down at 30 minutes. Well, it didn't look good. He had a lot of anti-chemistry with this lineup. Just a lot of heroes that like didn't really, again, the Clinks and the Viper, redundant picks. They do the same thing as each other to the same guys at the same place in the fight. They have the same upsides, the same downsides. You deal with them the same way. And that's exactly how it went. The Pudge and the Sand King, just directly opposing heroes. Pudge wants to bring somebody, just split the team up, just wants to get somebody out. The Sand King wants to just go into the big party. And again, there is a way these two heroes can work out if they have the situation where Pudge hooks somebody and then Sand King ults the response that comes in, but like that requires a lot more coordination than we really saw. And of course, again, you really don't want to see Pudge with heroes like the Viper or the Clinks, because Pudge just lets everybody do that. Like, Pudge, if it's the other world and Pudge is on the other team, he's like hooking the Clinks in, ults him. Now, like, Brewmaster is able to get that kill guaranteed the same way that Viper would be able to in, like, a more normal circumstance, if that makes sense. It's just, I don't know. Let's see what happens next time.